Well, a very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf, and welcome back to the railway. This is part 4. Very warm day today. Got all the doors and windows open, got some air blowing through. But plan today, I need to move all these buildings first of all, and actually start laying out some track, getting a rough idea of where the tracks are going to go on this main baseboard, or at least the lower level tracks, let's say. And yeah, hopefully by the end of this video I should have some tracks down and some trains running. Well, I spent the last couple of hours playing with the track and decided probably the best thing to do is to get base coat down of the texture. So using my trusted method of PVA glue and sand, I'm going to get a textured base on here before I lay the track down, and yeah, add some bits. Well, over the last couple of evenings I've just put down a base coat of sand on here with some PVA, and again, same methodology, just some very light dusting of play sand just to give a bit of texture, and I'm just going to paint this grey, and that'll give me a starting point to move forward with this section of the board. Well, I'm finding myself a little bit despondent at the moment. I've got to that point in the project where I realise how big the project is, but also how little space I really have got to do what I want to achieve. And yeah, I've put down the base coats here. You can see the painted my sand covering in grey, and I've actually put some blue paint on the walls ready to create the background scenery. And yeah, just feeling that it's not going quite to plan, and not looking like the overly detailed layout that I was envisaging when I started this. So yeah, a little bit despondent at the moment, but I shall persevere and hopefully transform this area into something worth looking at. You know, I was really pleased over here. I'm just going to go past all the mess that I've got. I said to somebody today I'm a very messy modeler. Really pleased with how this all turned out. It does look fantastic over there, over the moon with that. But yeah, this side is just yeah, not quite there yet, I don't think. Well, 24 hours on, and it's amazing the difference a day can make. I came out here earlier on, and yeah, I've just made a lot of progress. It doesn't look like a lot, but all the painting and marking and playing around with the track, getting it where I want it to be, it's going particularly well today. Yesterday I was so despondent. Everything I touch, you know, when it's like, you know, you have those days where everything you touch goes wrong. It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't look right, it doesn't fit right. And yeah, I was having one of those days. That combined with work and just general life, you know, I put me tools down, if you like, went back indoors. I was sitting there thinking that, you know, railways are supposed to be enjoyable. I do this to get away from everyday life, and I found yesterday this was just stressing me out. So we've moved on a long way since then, and yeah, back to making some progress. So at the moment I've just got a train actually running round on the tracks that you see here. They could disappear off around the other side of the wall there and reappear. So I'm going to nail these tracks down and then start adding a little bit of scenery in this corner. I really don't like this piece at the top here. I'm going to cut this away, I think, come up with something different, because I don't like the way that looks. So hopefully when I come back I'll have had a thought and done something slightly different up there. Well, that's some of the tracks nailed down. I've got the two tunnel faces. There's one there, and the tunnel entrance over the back there from Metcalfe. And I've put a little bit of blue card just to close the back off there, and you can see what I've done with the looping track. I've just cut that back. I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. I may go for the sort of bridge material that Hornby do, but so far going quite well. And sadly I've run out of time today, so I shall pick this up again tomorrow. Well, off camera I've cut a couple of holes, or 3 holes through the wall there, just using a plunge saw. Didn't actually film that bit because a lot of bad language as I was cutting through there. It was quite difficult to reach across, and yeah, a funny angle trying to cut the holes, but all done now, so time to put some track in. Well, it's been a few days and I've been coming out here doing 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Not really been filming a great deal, so I thought I'd better do a bit of a catch up on where I've got to. So at the end here, this is the original railway that was here, and you can see the tunnel over there. I've cut away the top board. I think I did film a little bit of me tearing that away, and put a loop of track in here, so it's just a turnaround loop. I've then cut through the wall, which was more effort than I would care to mention. Not the easiest thing to do, actually, cutting through the wall there, and yeah, it was a bit of a pain, and lots of harsh words as I went through there. Now I'm just going to take you to the other side here, and on this side of the wall, again, there's the holes that come through. I've put this board in. I don't think this has been in any of the shots that I've done so far, which is basically gives the full extent of the layout. And then I've run the tracks all the way round and at the back here. So I pretty much now have 2 full circuits, and my job today is I'm going to add in some sidings in this area here. And as you can see, there's the 009 gauge layout at the top there. Let me just turn the lights on. I'll put the lights on, we'll be able to see a bit better. I should have done that before I started filming. So you've got 009 up there, nobody sort of a cliff face or a hillside down onto the layout here, hence why the you know, the colour isn't going right to the back there. A couple of tunnel entrances, and then, as I say, the track runs around over the back here. And yeah, the side that I have actually done, which I filmed earlier in the video, has now become the dumping ground for all the other pieces of track. So yeah, let me press on and yeah, get some sidings on this side. Well, yesterday evening I built myself this little frame out of modelling card, and yeah, very lightweight, and that will now hold the new deck above the turnaround track. So I'm now going to get on and cut out the upper decks, and yeah, try and get this all fit together. So as I say, if anything does get stuck under here, now I can lift the whole lot out all in one go, and yeah, retrieve any stuck locos, which is a big difference from before. Well, I've got the first half of the board cut to shape there, so I now need to cut the second half and get this all glued together. Then I can take this outside and yeah, start painting it, ready for the decoration that's going to go on here. Well, yesterday evening I was out here gluing the final bits of card on, and it's gone together quite nice. It's very sturdy, exactly what I'm after. The only problem was over the back there. You can see I've had to put a little ramp at the back there, where the tracks underneath go up a slight incline just to get onto the board behind the wall. They were catching on the top there, so I've had to make a little modification. It's a little bit high at the moment. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, but it's a shame because I wanted a track to run all the way around the outside, which I won't have now, obviously, but never mind. Still looks pretty good, so time to get some paint. Well, yesterday evening I came out and glued some sand on here, as I've done with many times before, so I didn't bother filming that. Glued that on, left it to dry. It dried really quick in the sun, and then I've just painted over with a little wash of poster paint just to give a base colour. So next step is to decide where things are going on here. So got my turntable, which is going to be the new feature of this area. And I've just brought one of the good sheds out as well. I'll bring that over here. That's going to sit somewhere over there. So I now need to mark where the turntable is going to go, and then a little bit of artwork to kind of bring this to life. So let me go and get a marker pen. Now I will clean this turntable up in a moment, but yeah, for now let me just get this marked out and mark where each of the roads are going. And then from that I can work forward. with this video is going to be an absolute mismatch of all kinds of little snippets when I come to edit it, so hopefully it'll be alright. But anyway, I've brought the board in from outside, and you can see the sprayed finish on there, and I've put some flocking, some grass along the front there, so that when I film my close-up shots from this angle, I've now got a really nice nice sort of scenery there. Turntables put in, and I've electrified this little piece of track here, put the electrics through, and I'm just going to go the other side of the wall here. And what I've been doing down the base here is putting in some control systems underneath the railway. So I've gone with a Digi Plus system, which allows me to plug in a controller. I'll do a little review on that once it's all up and working in this video. So you can plug in a controller there and operate the outside track with either digital or analog. Then I've got the analog controls here, which will control well, the inside track. Let me just point this one here, just move the microphone into my other hand. So this one here will control this one as an analog track. This one over the back here, these three are all for the 3-rail, the Marklin 3-rail, so there'll be a controller set on those. And then I'm just in the process here at the front of putting in some tracks, which will be my new tramway. So lot been going on in the background as well. Got the board all painted up and got all the tracks in. So I'm carrying on sort of off camera at the moment because you know, there's not really a lot to film. It's a lot of fiddling around. It's taken me days and days and days to decide where tracks are going and reroute wires and things. So I think probably the best thing is I'm going to carry on off camera and then wrap this up with a summary, walking through everything that I've done in this video. Well, to close out this video, let's just do a walk through what's changed over the last couple of weeks. So this area completely has changed. There used to be a town scene behind. Now we've gone to the turntable, new baseboard in here. We've got this nice green flocking along the front here, so that when I do my shots of the loco, I've got a nice foreground. The turntable itself, that's all wired in. I'll just send that round one turn, which means hopefully I can film the locos going round on it. This piece of track along the front here is electrified but doesn't go anywhere, it just disappears off into the tunnel. So I just have to stop the turntable there. And then I've just placed a few buildings on here, just trying to get an idea of where things are going to go. Obviously I do need to fill in underneath the tracks. You can see they're all lifted for the turntable, so there's a few changes there. I might actually drop the turntable down into a recess on there, thinking about the detailing on here, but main thing at the moment is all of the infrastructure. Now, although on camera this only took, I don't know, a few minutes, you know, this is best part of maybe a week, maybe 10 days work to get the baseboard to where it is today. It's taken forever, and all the wiring as well. Yeah, quite intensive wiring that's gone on to get this bit working. Got the new building here. It's coming up on the channel soon. That's by Ratio Kits. That's kit building. Still needs to be weathered, and I've got the doors behind there ready to go on. And then the other side of the wall, lots of changes. Yeah, so the whole of this baseboard, before we had just a clean board all the way round, and I've now got tracks on here. So let's talk through the tracks. Now the through tracks over the back here, these are all Marklin 3-rail. Now the good thing about these is I can also run my Hornby 00 on these. So the 3-rail 00 will run on this Marklin track. I just have to change over the controller. So the controller I've got at the moment is AC voltage. I think it's 16 volt for Marklin. Let me just switch direction. And the loco runs all the way around. As I say, I just rewire the controller, put a 12 volt supply on there, and yeah, the Hornby 00 run round quite successfully. And this runs down to the buffers at the end there. We'll just send that back the other way. And as that runs round, I come back to the, as I say, you've got the 3 sidings here. At the top there, we've still got the 009 set up, but I've still got wiring the power supply. You see it's all just curled up on the corner here. That's the wiring I haven't done yet. That's got to run down into the little control box that I've now got underneath the layout here, with all the controllers on. and yeah, get this little controller down there as well, so that yeah, it's all in one place. Then the next track along, well, I'll come back to these two in a moment. Let's talk about the tram. So I've put in a tramway, so this at the end here with the two Hornby controllers, these control the tramway. So I'm just going to send my, sorry, wrong one, this one, send the tram down the track, and yeah, the tramway is going to have an awful lot of theming on there. Let's just bring that back again. I wanted the trams to be a highlight on the railway, so I'm really looking forward to getting those running. And then control wise on the main track, this one run around the outside. This is on a DigiPlus system. This was gifted by my uncle, and yeah, this is digital and analog, and gives me the opportunity to use these little plug-in boxes. So it means I can plug in the controllers around the layout, so while I'm filming I can move to a different place and still have full control of the train. So if I just unhook the controller, it's on a lead, as you can see, and when it's set to 00, it's now an analog track, and as I say, you can move up through all of the locos on here, 2, 3, 4, whichever one you've got the loco program to for digital. So let's just send this loco around the track. Oh, that's better. That's not a good start, it's off the track. Right, let's try again. I'll send this around the track, so this disappears off this way, goes through the wall, and then follows a turnaround loop on that side. We'll just wait for that to come back. Should reappear in the new tunnel, around the back of the layout. And then disappears into the turnaround loop on the far side of the wall, and hopefully come back through here. There we go. And then the other controller just at the end here is for the inside track. I'll just send the diesel off in that direction, almost parallel to the other outboard track, but you see it runs off into the turnaround loop. We'll follow this one making its way around the track. And you'll see as they come out of here, this is where the two tracks sort of deviate a little, with one heading off over the back there and the other one into the foreground. So really happy with the way the tracks have gone down. I've got a few points, a few crossovers, things to sort of challenge the locos when I'm filming. So when I'm doing a review, I can cross a couple of points. I've got areas over here where I'm going to have a large amount of hillside and some tunnels, probably the same over the back there. Some sort of cliff face here. I've got the buildings going in. This is all going to be the town scene in this area. And then just carrying on, I've just stopped the trains for a moment because they're getting a bit noisy. So a town scene in here, hoping to get a little bit of a fallow roadway running round, so the cars will run round in this area. This is going to be, obviously I mentioned the tramway, but I'm going to have illuminations all running down the side there with a bit of a town scene behind. Lots to do, but really happy with the way the baseboard's gone down, happy with the colours that are on there. Really good texturing to start with, obviously a lot of detailing to go onto this. But it's nice to see some tracks down and finally be able to run some locos on here. So yeah, beginning to take shape. Anyway, as I've said before, if this has sparked an interest and you want to follow the progress of the layout, then please do subscribe and click on notifications. You'll see when the next part comes onto the channel. Not sure when it'll be. This is part 4, so there's a previous 3 parts if you want to see the baseboard and some of the other bits and pieces that I've done. But this is part 4. Hopefully part 5 will be in a couple of weeks time, maybe a little bit longer. It just depends how much time I get out here to carry on with the building. I don't want to rush things. I'm taking my time on this, so I mean this project's going to run for a good few months, and yeah, I shall film it as I go. Apologies, this video has been a bit of a jump around, you know, it's little snippets here and there, but it's a case of when you're doing all of the infrastructure, there's no point in filming wiring and things, because you know, it's just a case of running a wire through a wall or whatever. It's yeah, it does make a very interesting video. So this one was a bit too much infrastructure and not enough detail of modelling, but the end result I'm really pleased with, and it's nice to see tracks down and trains running. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up and do check out the channel. Lots on there. If you can subscribe, I'll be very, very grateful. And with that, I'll wrap this up and leave it there and just say thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.